Here are a few of the stories we have coming up this week.
A showcase of all things VA aims to recruit more non-government partners.
Secretary Shinseki and VA employees hit the cold streets for the 2014 Homeless Veterans Pit Count.
And a final look at the DC VA Medical Center's 16th Winter Haven Stand Down for homeless veterans.
Hello, I'm Onika Coke-Munoz with Veterans Benefits Administration.
And I'm Clifton Coates with the VA Learning University. You're watching VA News.
Sharing services and attracting more community partners to help us with VA's work on behalf of the nation's veterans was the focus of the first VA Services Showcase. There was a big turnout at the VHA National Conference Center in Arlington, and we had a video team there. Here's their report.
The event today is a VA showcase. It's an opportunity for VA subject matter experts to share with community service partners what it is that they do.
The VA Services Showcase provides the VA an opportunity to engage the private sector, specifically nonprofits, foundations, charities, and even for-profit companies to increase awareness about our programs and services and how we can connect with the community to better serve veterans, their families, survivors, and caregivers and other beneficiaries. This is the first time that we've pulled together all these program offices with all the VA subject matter experts on this scale and scope.
What we really get to see is really the breadth and depth of what VA does. So, for example, there's organizations that are positioned near some of our chapters where maybe student vets are looking for internships or for job opportunities or even just volunteering. And so if we can make those connections here today and then bring those services back to our student vets in those local areas, then we can enhance their educational experience and hopefully then encourage them to use those experiences when they're applying for jobs.
We have more than 55 subject matter experts representing over 33 VA program offices. So it's everything from healthcare offices, employment, homelessness, survivors, mental health, literally the whole gambit of a holistic approach, if you will.
We're very, impressed. They've got programs that teach sports. They've got programs that provide adaptive sports equipment. It's giving us a good education about what programs are out there, all the different touch points that we can send our wounded warriors to throughout the country, where they can take a part in recreation services. And so it's providing us some really good background information and some networking to find out how we can better serve the severely wounded with sports.
We've learned a lot, and we'll take that back to Bank of America, and it's going to help us in our efforts to support the reintegration efforts of all veterans and their families.
On January 29th, hundreds of volunteers braved bitter cold temperatures searching for the homeless on the streets of the nation's capital. In fact, at the same time, VA and HUD volunteers conducted point-in-time counts in more than 3,000 communities across the nation. The pit counts, as they are called, are how we know the homeless veteran population has dropped 8% since 2012 and 24% since 2010. Here is a video by Rinaldo Liel that shows the passion we all must have to meet the goal of ending homelessness in 2015.
You are part of a movement where in 3,000 communities across this country, this week, we are going out into the streets to count. We spend a ton of time at HUD, across the administration, looking at where are we on the numbers? Where are we in Washington, D.C.? Where are we in Columbus? Where are we in Salt Lake, in Phoenix, and other places? What are they doing right? Where do they need help? It's all because of you.
I've long said I've never been very good at solving a problem I couldn't see. We made an agreement we're going to pick one standard on counting what we thought would be the homeless population we'd have to deal with. And so we've done that. In the last 5 years, We've succeeded in taking, at least in the case of homeless veterans, the count down by 24%.
So when you're out there, remember, we're counting, but we're doing more than counting too. We're finding out, is somebody a veteran? Have they served the country in something? Are we talking about a youth who may be homeless? And we're trying to find out why.
More than 700 veterans filled the DC VA Medical Center for VA's 20th Homeless Veteran Stand-Down in Washington, the 16th Winter Haven Stand-Down at the medical center.
That is almost twice as many as any previous year. It may have been the frigid, single-digit weather. It may have been the increase in services and goods provided to attendees by VA and its federal, state, and local partners. They weren't all homeless, but almost all of them are at least at risk of that happening again. And so the health, employment, and personal services are vital.
Medical Center Director Brian Hawkins said the stand-down has always been about offering a hand up way more than a hand out.
Stand down means nothing if I bring people in and give them clothes and a haircut for today. It's about sustaining their lives, and it's about being able to sustain the lives of their families. We think every day of how we can engage the community and wrap it around our veterans. We look at potential employers, we look at potential caregivers, we look at potential healthcare providers, especially for families. We look at potential housing opportunities. And as we go out in the community, you know, you meet these people in the grocery store, you meet them at the barbershop, you meet them at the car wash, and people want to help. And what better place to be a hub than the VA hospital, where we can be the hub to bring all the community together to reach out and wrap around our veterans. That's what this one day is about.
Secretary Shinseki, his wife, and VA Chief of Staff Rojas and his wife pitched in to help out at the stand-down, which provided new boots and warm winter jackets, haircuts, health checks, and a lot of goodwill.
To our homeless veterans, I know that for some of them, it's difficult to make the choice to come in, but I'm going to keep asking, you know, is this the day? Is this the day? Are you coming in today? And as long as I keep asking, one of these days the answer is going to be yes. And it goes to Wayne Gretzky's great line, you know, from hockey. I missed 100% of the shots I didn't take. So for us, we got to keep shooting. And one of these days we'll get a yes. Very proud of what we do here.
More than one veteran told us it was more than worth braving the bitter cold, that it was absolutely necessary.
It's so easy to start. And once you start down that, you know, it's so hard to dig yourself out of the hole. And it's not just the homelessness. Once you're not on the grid, it's so hard to get all the other services, you know. And the one thing I love about this program is everybody's like, oh, you know, you guys are, you know, it's great what you're doing. I'm like, but what they don't see is it's not just giving guys shoes and clothes and boots and all that kind of good jazz. It's, hey, while you're here, let's get you signed up for your benefits. Let's get you signed up for your education. Let's get you signed up for housing. Let's get you signed up for job assistance. Let's introduce you to the VFW, the DAV. Let's introduce you to mental health. You know, all those stuff that's not highlighted, but it's still on that list. If you read that list they're on, you know, I think that's huge.
Here's a look at some of the things impacting veterans in VA in February.
First, it is Black History Month, an opportunity for all of us to study and appreciate the rich contributions of African Americans to our nation's legacy.
It's also American Heart Month, and we all know how vital that is, not to mention our homage to the heart on February 14th. February 1st through the 7th is Women's Heart Week. February 10th through 16th is National Salute to Veteran Patients Week, with Valentine's for Veterans events planned at VA facilities across the nation.
Actor David James Elliott is this year's National Salute Chairman. You may remember him from the TV show JAG. The week beginning the 10th is also National Cardiac Rehabilitation Week. A few historical dates. February 13, 1863 was the day the first Medal of Honor was awarded to Private Jacob Parrott.
The Desert Storm Ground War began February 23, 1991.
February 23rd is also the day in 1945 the U.S. Marines raised Old Glory on Mount Suribachi in the Battle of Iwo Jima. Here's Ray Leal with this week's Did You Know?
Did you know VA's new GI Bill comparison tool can help veterans, service members, dependents, and survivors calculate their post-9/11 GI Bill benefits at schools and programs across the country? It's pretty easy to navigate. Let me show you how it's done. First, go to the comparison tool website. From there, it takes 3 easy steps to get the information you need. Enter your eligibility information and the name of the school you want to compare. The tool does the rest. Now you can see the amount of benefits you'll receive from a particular school and information on the student veteran population, graduation rates, and even loan default rates. When you're done with one school, all you need to do is enter another school name to compare them. It's never been easier to calculate your GI Bill benefits by school, so please check out the comparison tool and get the information you need before you go back to school.
That's all we have for this VA News. Thanks for watching. I'm Clifton Coates.
And I'm Onika Coke-Munoz. Have a great day and rest of your week.